The tale of tennis great René Lacoste is an intriguing one, for it showcases how a seemingly insignificant joke can lead to the creation of a multi-billion-dollar brand. René, born to Jean-Marie Magdalene Larollet and Jean-Jules Lacoste, both belonging to the upper echelon of society, had the privilege of doing as he pleased. However, his love for tennis was what caught his attention at the young age of 15. Despite not being as talented as the top tennis players, René yearned to turn his passion for tennis into a career. Jean-Jules Lacoste, René's father, was initially skeptical about the idea of a tennis career for his son, but eventually relented after seeing René's fervor for the sport. Jean-Jules, however, laid down a challenge. René had to become a world champion in 5 years. This was a daunting task, but René was determined to prove himself to his father. Over the next 3 years, René underwent intense training, hoping to make his father proud. In 1922, René participated in his first tennis competition, the Wimbledon Championship Grand Slam tournament, but lost in the first round. René was heartbroken, not just because of the loss, but also due to the pressure from his father to succeed. The next year, he participated in a competition in the United States and performed better, making it to the 4th round. However, he was defeated by Cecil Campbell in a closely contested match. Despite the loss, René continued to train tirelessly and was eventually selected to play for the Davis Cup team in France. Alongside Jacques Bronin, Enrico Shea, and Jean Verotra, René formed a formidable team, and they were fondly referred to as the Four Musketeers by tennis enthusiasts. In 1925, René reached his first major final at Wimbledon but lost to Jean Verotra, another of the Four Musketeers. René's loss was a wake-up call, and he trained even harder, determined to come back stronger. The next year, he won the French championship title and defeated Verotra in the finals at Wimbledon to become a champion. René had finally proven himself to his father, but he lost his French championship title the following year to Enrico Shea. René did not participate in Wimbledon that year. Instead, he spent his time training, determined to become a better player. In September 1926, René competed in the U.S. National Championship and emerged as the champion, defeating Verotra once again in the championship match. He was ranked the #1 tennis player for 1926 by the Daily Telegraph. René's dedication to tennis and his unique style of play did not go unnoticed. He often played around the back of the court and slithered around while playing, which intrigued American journalists during the 1926 French Davis Cup team's World Group Final against the U.S. team. The American team had Bill Tilden, who was known for his undefeated winning streak in tennis championships. Tilden's opponent for the World Cup final was René, and to everyone's surprise, caused a major upset by defeating Bill in a 4-set game, impressing American journalists present at the game with his phenomenal style of play. They nicknamed him the Crocodile, a moniker that would stick with him for the rest of his career. Although René's team lost the finals, this one victory gave them a boost and increased their chances of winning the cup the following year. René went on to defeat Bill again in the next World Group Final, winning one of his 3 matches against him. The Crocodile nickname quickly made its way to France, and René embraced it, admitting that the name highlighted his tenacity on the tennis court and his dedication to never giving up on his prey. Later that year, the Davis Cup team found themselves in a crucial match, and their captain promised René a crocodile skin suitcase if they won. René took him up on that promise and led the team to victory. After the match, Robert George designed a signature crocodile and embroidered it on René's blazer. René wore the blazer to his next game, drawing the eyes of tennis fans with his confidence. Although René had been wearing the crocodile-branded blazer to every game, it wasn't until 5 years later that the Lacoste brand finally launched. Having trained from a young age, René had made some observations about his personal experience playing tennis. He realized that a long-sleeved button-up shirt was uncomfortable and did not enhance a player's flexibility. This observation led to him designing the first version of the official tennis uniform, but it was still in the production stage and had not yet been launched. In 1933, René asked André Gillier, the owner of the largest French knitwear manufacturing firm at the time, to embroider the crocodile on the front of his tennis shirt, which he wore to the next game. They produced more t-shirts, and this migrated into a business. The company was officially registered as La Société Chemise Lacoste, and René became the brand ambassador. René's sportswear was revolutionary at the time because it was a short-sleeved jersey knit polo shirt instead of the traditional button-up shirt. René's sportswear grew even more popular, but they could not gain a license to sell their products under the Lacoste brand name in the United States. In 1950, Lacoste started a partnership with a corporation in the United States called Izod. They created a sub-brand called Izod Lacoste that produces Lacoste-branded clothing. Lacoste started by producing only white-colored branded sportswear, but from 1950, after their partnership with Izod, they started producing shirts of other colors. By 1970, Lacoste sportswear had gained full popularity in the United States. 7 years later, a sportswear brand called Le Tigre was established in the US to compete with Izod Lacoste. They produced similar comfortable sportswear but went with another animal other than the crocodile. However, it was too difficult to defeat the popularity of Lacoste sportswear. Other sportswear companies in the US started making similar shirts and logos for their brand, and the worth of the Lacoste brand grew even more. Although René was the first brand ambassador of the Lacoste brand, he attributed its success to him not choosing a friendly animal to be the logo of Lacoste. Even after his retirement from tennis in 1932, René continued to design innovative sports goods. In the 1960s, he designed an unprecedented steel racket, which was used by Jimmy Connors and other top players. He expanded Lacoste's sporting territory from just sportswear to sports goods. In 1964, Bernard Lacoste took over the company from his mother René Lacoste, who had been in charge of the partnership between Lacoste and Izod. However, during the 70s and 80s, teenagers began referring to the shirt as Izod instead of Lacoste. Despite this brand identity crisis, the union of both brands remained profitable until the parent company Crystal Brands Incorporated fell into debt from other business ventures. The company tried to separate Izod and Lacoste to repay the debts, but eventually, Crystal had to sell their half of Lacoste back to the original French company while Izod was sold to another company in 1993. Lacoste ended their partnership with Izod after regaining exclusive US rights to distribute shirts under its own brand in 1990. They then ended their long brand identity crisis with a Chinese company called Crocodile. Bernard Lacoste decided that they needed new management to take the company forward, and on October 12, 1996, René Lacoste died at 92 years old. In 2000, Lacoste changed the creative director from Gilles Rosier to Christophe Lemaire, which helped re-establish Lacoste's popularity as not just a sportswear company but also a luxury fashion brand. Under the new administration, Lacoste diversified their products away from just clothing and branched out into other areas of fashion, producing footwear, eyewear, leather goods, lingerie, perfume, towels, and watches. In 2005, Bernard Lacoste fell sick and handed over the company to his younger brother Michael Lacoste, who had worked in the company with his brother for years and was more than capable of carrying on the legacy. On March 21, 2006, Bernard died, and the company mourned the loss of another president. Lacoste began licensing its trademark to other companies after Michael took over its administration, but that decision changed in a few years. Although Lacoste polo shirts are manufactured under license in Thailand and China, De Vanlay now owns an exclusive license to Lacoste clothes worldwide. The company continued to expand its territory and gained greater heights. In 2007, Lacoste introduced an e-commerce site for the US market, and by 2010, they began using celebrities as brand ambassadors, the most recent of which is tennis player Novak Djokovic, who was named the new Crocodile. Novak was given a brand ambassador 5-year contract that started in 2017. Today, the crocodile logo of the Lacoste brand speaks for the company, and the brand is extremely popular with millions of fans on and off social media from diverse communities. Lacoste started the René Lacoste Foundation to help children play sports in school and give them a supportive community. It has grown from a company named after a joke to a brand worth $1 billion. Have you seen designer clothing with a crocodile symbol on it? What did you think it meant? Have you tried buying a product by the Lacoste brand? Was it too expensive? Comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to like this video and check out other videos on our channel.